Hey there, folks. So yesterday, Pat posted a request to talk about Relentless, the movie. I actually had not had a chance to watch it yet. Realized that hey, it's on Prime. It's awesome. So I watched it this morning, and the first thing out of DDP's mouth in the film, like the first thing he says, is that people his whole life have told him that he's going to fail. He's not going to succeed in the things that he cares about, that he wants to do. And he's spent his entire life having to prove people wrong. And it's easy to look at someone who has had lots of success and not realize chances are real good, unless they, start out with things handed to them, and most people don't. They've fought somehow or another for what they have, and he's no different. He's his whole life, and we all are like that. All of us struggle for these things. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't, and whether or not you continue to get back up after what is often perceived as failure, that's where the relentless part comes in. And I guess that's the whole point of starting out that way. But from the first part of it, I'm already engaged personally, because that's what I've been told my whole life. I left home at 17. I'm going to be 40 in a couple of weeks. I left my parents' house at 17 because I was being abused and exploited, and I was told I would die on the streets, and it didn't happen. I was told by everyone around me I would never graduate from college. It took me 5 years, but I did do that. I did graduate. I was told for years and years no one was ever going to care about me. And I have a lot of friends who I really matter to, and I know that I matter to them. And it took me a long time to get to the point of realizing that. But I do realize that. I've yo-yoed with weight my whole life, with depression, access to the ability to be active, and some pretty unfortunate situations I'm glad I'm not in anymore. And through all of it, I never gave up, even when it looked really bad. And so you might wonder why I mentioned all these things about my past when we're talking about this film, but that's because living life, it can make you forget things about yourself, things you've already achieved, things that you're in the process of achieving all the time, even if you don't think about it. Life is distracting in that way. You tunnel vision things, and it's important to kind of take that camera focus back a little bit and look at the past and look at the things you've already overcome, and use that as a way to show yourself that you can overcome the things you're in now, no matter what it is. And watching Relentless has reminded me of some of those things about myself, and really just the fact that I am a relentless person. I'm someone who can be single-minded about something and not give up, even though I fall down. And we all fall down. Everybody does it, and I do it a lot because I'm pretty human, and that's what humans do. The second thing that really resonated with me, it's about halfway through, and he says, over here you've got good, and then you've got bad, and it's kind of a scale. And then over here there's different. Well, I've been different my whole life. I grew up in the South. My parents were very traditionally religious. My dad was a Baptist minister. I loved science fiction and comic books, and I just wanted to read and, be with my weird music and my weird friends and do my own thing. And, people throughout growing up, they just didn't understand me. And, college, I went to a small school. They didn't understand me. It took me until I was in my early 30s to really find a tribe. And I think that's pretty normal. Like everyone has got to find the people that are right for them. And part of not being around people that are like you is you either conform to other people's expectations, or you get picked on a lot. And I was picked on a lot. And that led into the cycles I've been dealing with my whole life, through the depression and the weight loss and gain. But I never did give up, because I am different. And probably if you're in this group, you're probably pretty different too. And it's a good thing. You just have to realize things. It's important to think about that. And so that's another thing that this film has reminded me, is that sometimes the different people are the ones that are good. And what really has helped me today is I'm in week 12 of chair to standing. So I'm in the stand strong stuff. I've done a couple of the other standing things, and I'm good on the standing stuff. I'm getting my balance and seeing some real progress in that, and I'm super excited about it. But I've been worried about getting up and down off the ground. I worry about my feet. I do still weigh 441. That's down from 498 beginning of April, so I'm getting there. But I have concerns that my feet will get damaged, and if that's the case, if I end up with an injury, I'm worried that I'll lose my momentum, and then I'll go into one of those cycles again that I'm trying really hard to never go back to. And then towards the end of the movie, there's that footage from 2020 where DDP goes off the top rope at 64. And it works. And he does awesome. And there was an amount of trust he had to put in the people he was jumping towards in his own body and his own self that I think not a lot of people really have in themselves. And watching that, I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more endurance. My feet are starting to get better. My ankles are doing good. If I continue with this, I'll be able to do those floor exercises. I'll be able to get up and down off the floor. I'll be able to do these things that I see everybody else in this group doing, who are doing so awesome with, that I really would like to take part of. And I know that this is in the near future for me. I'm going to be able to do this. And that showed me, and it probably doesn't, I don't know if that seems like it would make sense to someone that's not just me in my own head, but that was, the definition of Relentless is DDP coming off that top rope. And I think we all have these struggles that we're going through right now, and everybody's helping each other and themselves through these things. And everyone in this group is relentless. I know that may sound cheesy. I'm the last person to like or try to say anything that's could be considered to be an inspirational anything. That's not the person I am. I deal with logic and reality, but the reality is, if you continue, if you listen to your body, you can do what you're doing. You can do what you want. And I know I can. And I'm going to. And I'm doing it. And so are you. So, thanks DDP for making that movie. You guys doing a great job. Pat, thanks for the challenge. And catch you guys on the flip side.